Welcome back to more Summoner's War Monster Strategies. Today we're going to be talking about Bremis, the Fire Elemental. So this guy, I'll just go ahead and tell you right now, he is not that good, just like, well, the Harenos, the water one. Because Taharis actually has at least some use, you know, in the dungeons. But anyway, Bremis, here we go. His final stats are 7,740 HP, 637 attack, 494 defense, and 107 speed. As you can see, he is, well, very squishy, but that's not unique to him because pretty much every single elemental is like that. But as you can see, his stats are also not incredibly high, even though his attack is, well, you can't even say high though, it's a 637, I mean really, it's not even 700. But the speed is pretty good, just like any elemental. Let's talk about his skills now. So his first skill is Fiery Claw, the same as, you know, every elemental. Attacks the enemy with sharp fiery claws, inflicts continuous damage for 2 turns if you get a critical hit. The second one is, Elemental Explosion. Causes an elemental explosion to attack an enemy. The inflicted damage is proportionate to the enemy's max HP. That one is not a unique skill to him, as you already know. But the third one says Death Blow. It's a passive. Your critical damage is increased by 50%. Okay. So just by looking at these skills, it's pretty obvious. This guy is all about critical rate and critical damage. That's all he's about, because his first skill, you know, will always inflict continuous damage if it's a critical hit, and then the third one buffs up his critical damage by 50%. So because of that, his rune, should be Rage Blade. I mean, Rage Blade is really all I can see, and you want to go with attack and then either critical rate or critical damage and attack. I mean, I'm going to probably lean more towards critical rate, even though people would say, well, you know, you're going to have a massive critical damage if you go rage and a critical damage in slot 4. The problem is, because this guy can only be used early in the game, and I mean very early in the game, if you absolutely must, your critical rate is not going to be that high by that point if you don't use the critical rate in slot 4. I mean, what are you going to do with one blade set and the garbage critical rate substats? Not that much. Critical rate is not going to be that high, and because of that, you're not going to be able to use the critical damage to its fullest extent. So I would say to put critical rate most likely in slot 4, but if you absolutely want to, I guess critical damage, but it might not be so efficient, and then go with rage. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. There really isn't anything else to say, you know, just attack and then either critical and an attack for slot 2, 4, and 6, respectively. And that's pretty much it. I mean, this video will be incredibly short, but that's kind of what I'm leaning to, you know, making every single video really short. But the point is, the overall review is that Bremis is overall not a very good monster, and really he should try to, like, you should try to avoid him. You should. Just because you're not going to see a very good potential of this guy, and if you absolutely must, go ahead and use him in the beginning, make him attack based, and try and do as much damage as you can. But eventually, when you find really any other pretty good fire monster that can attack offensive wise well, he will be replaced. He will unfortunately be replaced. And that's Bremis. That is him. So as always, go ahead and leave a comment if you think that, well, he has had some successes using your rune setups, or if you think he's downright terrible, go ahead and say that too. But whatever, go ahead and leave a comment on whatever you like about this monster. So, thank you for watching, goodbye everybody, and as always, until next time.